And welcome to Psalmic Saturday. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me now? There we go. Merry meet. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Moderating today for us are the lovely Honeypaw and the lovely Heather. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. So happy to be here and happy to have you here. Our website is located at arielscorner.com. Our podcast hub is at arielspodcasts.com, and our shop is at arielscornershop.com. So check all of our little places out. I hope you find what you're looking for. If you're on our main website, arielscorner.com, you'll see in the header and footer of every page. Okay, good. We are being heard. The header and footer of every page, there are links to our social media that include our private Facebook group and our Discord server. So I hope you can come on and be part of our community. We have a chat thread going right here on this stream, so please chat amongst yourselves. And if you happen to have a question for me personally, stick it right in that stream and I will do my best to answer it before the end of the stream. We do have a premiere right after the end of this stream, though. So if I'm going over, we may have to take any questions onto our Discord server or that Facebook group. If you would like to join us, and I hope you will, for our premiere, you can just hang out to the end of the exit music, and it should dump you right into the watch page, or at the very least, a link to the watch page. And I think that depends on the kind of device that you're on. If you'd like to donate to this channel, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. You could also use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks on YouTube if you'd like to give a donation on the platform. Or if you feel like giving a donation, but you want to use a credit card or a debit card, something like that, you can go to our website, arielscorner.com, and in the footer of all the pages, there's a small little donate link that'll take you onto where you can do that. I think I've done it all. I've said it all. We are here and ready to go. As soon as I know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Today we are working Psalm 28. Psalm 28 has magical uses traditionally to disarm adversaries, to make peace with an enemy, to reconcile with a friend, for safety on a journey, to subdue any attack, to evoke tenderness, for mercy, and for kindness. Today, I think we'll gear it toward reconciliation. So if there's somebody that you want to reconcile with, or you feel that you need to get on better terms with, you can bring them to mind. If that's not what you need to do, then any of those other uses will suffice. You can gear the psalm toward whatever you desire. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take our psalm and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is commonly referred to as an incantation. When we have finished with that incantation, we go back through that psalm and we consider each verse one at a time. We look for hidden occult meanings that lie behind each verse. And as we discover those and we contemplate their meanings, we also try to apply our situation that we've brought to the psalm to what we discover. And it's by this type of work, the discovering, the searching, the contemplating, and the application, that we take the seeds of magic that exist within each psalm and plant them deeply in the fertile grounds of our minds, where they take root. They grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is precisely what we are going to do together right now with Psalm 28. That is not Psalm 28. Obviously, it's been a while since I've used this book. Here we go. Let's just do that again. Make it easier. Easier on the editing. And that's exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 28. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord my rock. Be not silent unto me, lest, if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render them their desert. Because they regarded not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them, and not build them up. Blessed be the Lord, because he hath heard the voice of my supplications. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. The Lord is their strength, and he is the saving strength of his anointed. Save thy people, and bless thine inheritance. Feed them also, and lift them up forever. It's nice having a shorter psalm every so often, isn't it? It doesn't mean that it takes less time to do the psalm. It just means that sometimes it's easier to go deeper into each verse because, it doesn't take as long. Anyway, stop talking about that, Ariel. Okay, so it starts out with, unto thee will I cry, O Lord, my rock. Lot in that, there's so much in just that first line of that verse. So we are, first of all, needing to orient ourselves to whom we are addressing. We are calling upon the Lord, the Tetragrammaton, which in magic, psalm magic, is a symbol of the one source, the one substance, the one force in all the universe. There is but one. We always come back to that realization and understanding before we work any magic, because otherwise we don't have any power to lean into. We don't have any power to connect with. If there's multiple powers, then there's always this chance that things won't work. But if you understand that there's but one power, there's one source, there's one force, there's one substance in all the universe, and that force is here for you, and all you have to do is turn to it, orient yourself toward it. Then you understand that your success in this endeavor is inevitable. So, unto thee will I cry, O Lord, my rock. So when you cry, we are using our voice as a symbol of our power, our will. So our will is the will of the infinite. Our will is one with the infinite. And we are declaring and claiming that our support and our stability is in this infinite. Since there is but one power, what else could be our rock? Anything but that one power is just an illusion. So we want to make sure that we start out strong, and we have. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord my rock. Be not silent to me. Now, the Lord isn't silent to us unless we aren't listening. So this is more than anything an affirmation of our understanding that we must listen. We must tune in and be receptive. Lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Now the pit represents, in at least the Hebraic versions of this psalm, the concept of Sheol, which is not really hell like in a Christian sense where it's a pit of eternal torment. It's the dust heap. It's the pit where you put your refuse. It's the native nothingness to which the dross goes. And the idea that you could possibly go into Sheol as a soul would have been very scary to these people, that you just cease to exist. But the understanding of it from a magical point of view is there's no place for you in the pit. That's not where you belong. And if you find yourself being afraid of going into the pit, it's because you're identifying with that. You're identifying with what is not real. You're identifying with illusions. So the illusions go into the pit because the pit represents, Sheol represents the native nothingness to which everything unreal must return. So, if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down in the pit. In other words, if I'm not listening to you, I'm listening to something that doesn't exist, and I'm in the pit. I'm in the pit. But the fact that the pit doesn't really exist, and that's not the place for me, then what that's representing is me doubling down on my illusion, me doubling down on my commitment to what is not there. So instead, we're saying, no, I'm listening to the infinite. I'm listening to the infinite because the infinite only tells me the truth. And I want to hear the truth in whatever the situation is, rather than all of those unreal thoughts, all those unreal voices that exist in this pit, which ultimately doesn't really exist either. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. So the holy oracle, again, is us listening to the infinite, us hearing the truth of the infinite. The oracle of the infinite is like the telephone of the infinite. God's phoning us. That's intuition. So when you lift up your hands to the holy oracle, the lifting up of the hands is a gesture of invocation. You're invoking the holy oracle. You are picking up the phone and saying, what? Hello? What do you want? What do you want to tell me? I'm here. I'm listening. So when it says, hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. So there's a two-way communication. This is what I need, and this is what you're telling me to do. And we have to do it both ways. We start out with our cry, but then we must listen. And that's sort of a theme of the opening of this psalm. I must cry, and then I must listen. I must call, I must listen. I must have what we would call in modern terms a conversation. Most of us don't know how to have conversations. Most of us just know how to talk, but we don't know how to listen. It's just not a real common thing in this society anymore to listen. And this is a very important part of getting our needs met with the infinite, is not only saying, I need this, I need this, I need this, and then just go running away hoping that it comes true. No, I need this, I need this. What do I do? Where do I go? Right? And then listening, hearing, being intuitive, allowing our own intuitive faculties to take over, lifting our hands to the holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Okay, now we're talking about having a reconciliation here. So there's many ways in which we could gear this, but since we're talking about having a reconciliation where we want to, come together again, maybe forgive each other, start again. How many times have we had like maybe good friends or family members? It's like, well, is it really worth throwing the whole relationship away just because of this one argument? Just because we didn't see eye to eye on this one thing? So the idea that you'll never speak to each other again, you're never going to talk to each other again, you'll never forgive them, what they said was unforgivable, whatever it is, that is the wicked, the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Just talking, maybe, well, we can be cordial. We can be cordial at a gathering, but I will not speak to them again. I will not, ever have a relationship with them again. That is the wicked, workers of iniquity, who speak peace with their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts, because you're not really forgiving them. You're not really at peace with them. And even if you're wanting to have the reconciliation for only the purpose of having your own inner peace, it's worth it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have lunch with them, unless it does. If it's a full reconciliation, then you will. But if at least you're having reconciliation in your heart for the purpose of having peace, then you don't want to be drawn away with the wicked, with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. You want to have an honest relationship with this person. Now, if you're coming to the psalm for some other purpose and it's not that reconciliation, it's still the same thing, but maybe geared towards something different, in that the wicked workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. It's talking about your tendencies here. Yes, there are people outside of us that do that. We see it all the time. And they're wonderful examples of what we do to ourselves. You can just look at it, if you look on the news, there's story after story of people that say one thing and do another, that lie and scheme, but they come off as being, real helpful or whatever. Those people are wonderful examples of how we are to ourselves inside of our own minds. So we are just saying, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors, and give them after the work of their hands, render them their desert. Now, if you were working this on a person who is doing this, what you're asking for is that they get punished, is that they see the error of their ways. But we're gearing this toward the workers of iniquity in our own mind. And so what we're asking for is that the ego be cast into the pit, that we no longer associate with those thoughts, that we no longer entertain those thoughts, that those thoughts get what they deserve in that we disregard them. Because once you disregard those tendencies of thinking do go into the pit because they die. They cease to exist because they have no true substance. They're not based on any spiritual principles. They only are kept alive by us keeping them alive. Because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands, he shall destroy them and not build them up. Isn't that good news? It's good news to because a lot of times what happens is people will say, well, I don't know what to do with these thoughts. I just don't know what to do about them. And here it's telling you, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a thing except for give them to the infinite. Just say, I don't know what to do with these thoughts. I'm really at odds with this person. I want to make up with this person, but I can't forgive them because what they did was so bad, blah, 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 blah. Help me. I can't do this by myself. And what it's saying here is that since those thoughts are not the thoughts of the infinite, because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands, it's not the will of the infinite that we have these thoughts. It's not the will of the infinite that we have this disagreement, that we have this unforgiveness. He shall destroy them and not build them up. He'll take them, or infinite intelligence will take the thoughts that we have, the poisonous part of our relationship, and get rid of them for us. We don't have to know what to do. We just have to be willing not to keep them. That's our only responsibility in this situation. So I don't have to know what to do. I don't have to have perfect thoughts, but I do have to know that I don't want to keep these thoughts. I don't need to be so right about the situation that it can't resolve. And isn't that always the case? No, I'm right. No, I'm right. Well, you said this. Well, you did that. Being right is what's keeping it alive. I don't need to be right. Obviously, I don't need to be abused by this person. I don't need to be, I don't need to put myself into a victim mentality either. But I have to recognize that I don't know how to have this reconciliation, yet the infinite does. So I'm giving all of this over to the infinite to sort it out for me, so that the resolution comes out in the perfect way, so that everybody's happy and everybody wins. That's my desire. Blessed be the Lord, because he hath heard the voice of my supplications. It's a done deal, but we have to let it go. Remember how magic works. Once you do your spell, once you bring this stuff up and you create this thought form, you have to let it do its thing. And now we are saying that we trust that the infinite knows what to do, where we trust that the infinite heard us, received this, and that the infinite's on it. and it's all going to work out in a perfect way. That's our job, is to know these things. And that's not always such an easy task, is it? To have that amount of faith that whatever your spell is about, whether it's reconciliation or something else, that it's been heard and that it's being taken care of, and you don't really have to do anything about it. It's very challenging for us because we are taught from the very beginnings of our lives that you have to do everything. You have to know how to handle stuff. You have to be able to micromanage your life, otherwise it's going to go to hell. But how has that really worked out for anybody? The micromanaging of our lives never really seems to bring us happiness. It never really seems to bring us into peace. It never really seems to bring us into actual success. You may have some of the trappings of success, but you're not happy if you're always micromanaging every little part of your life. So what we're looking at here is learning how to live a magical life. And a magical life is where we are very clear about what we want. We are able to connect with the infinite. We are able to get our supplication made, or our petition, or our intention is a stronger word, I think. It's a better word. Our intention is very clearly set, and the infinite hears it. The infinite's on it, and if we don't interfere from this point forward, then it's just a matter of letting it happen and staying out of the way. We've done our part. Then we go into what we do, what we can do after we've let it go. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. We go right into the gratitude that this has happened, right into the gratitude that our spell has been cast, and everything is working out perfectly. We know it's working out beyond anything that we could ever do on our own, and for that we are very grateful. The Lord is my strength and my shield. I don't have to protect myself. I don't have to worry about being abused by this person if I forgive them. I am strong. I'm willing to do the right thing as it's shown to me. My heart trusteth in him, and I am helped. My heart, meaning my deep mind, that I am in the depths of my mind, I know the infinite has this, and I don't have to worry about it. And that's how I'm helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth. When your heart greatly rejoiceth, that means that it's automatic, that you're so used to it. You've become accustomed to rejoicing. It becomes a habit. And that kind of a happy habit is exactly what we want after we cast a spell. I'm so grateful this is happening. I'm so grateful everything's working out. Long before you see the manifestation in the physical, that's the way to do it. And with my song will I praise him. Now, your song is your voice. Now, you can sing. I mean, there's absolutely can. But we're talking about what a song means magically. A song, magically speaking, is your will, is how you focus your forces, how you decide on things. What kind of song are you singing? If you think about everything in your life as being a song you're singing, are you singing the song about how nothing ever works for you, or how you can't stand this person, or blah, 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 blah? Here we're saying, no, my song is praise in the infinite. Well, what is praise? Praise means acknowledging very enthusiastically that something is good. Now we are recognizing that the infinite is good and only good. And therefore, since the infinite is the one and only power that exists, only good can happen. Only good exists. And that's what our song is. That's where we are focusing our mind. The Lord is their strength, and he is the Lord is their strength, and he is the saving strength of his anointed. Both you and this person are equally the anointed of the infinite. The infinite doesn't like you better than them, or vice versa. There's none of that. The infinite knows the way that this reconciliation can come about so that it's good for everyone, that it's for the highest good of all, and that not only do you guys come back together, but you come back together better, stronger, and both of you are better as a result of it. Now, if that other person doesn't want to go that far, that's fine, because you're still going to be better and you're still going to feel good about the relationship. It's not contingent upon them. But understanding that you're not asking the infinite to take sides, you're asking the infinite to reconcile, to see that, to bring you to the higher truth here. So the Lord is their strength, and he is the saving grace of his anointed. Save thy people and bless thine inheritance. Feed them also and lift them up forever. What's the inheritance of the infinite? You. You are. But so is the person. They are the inheritance of the infinite. Both are. So you don't have the right nor the power to cut them out of their inheritance. And even if you feel very justified in how bad they are and everything bad that you believe they've done, and even if that's true, it's still not your place to cut them out of their inheritance. So this is a very important part of all of this, is to recognize that regardless of how far you get with your reconciliation, as far as whether you guys actually come together and become friends again, or you just are at peace with the fact that you don't see them anymore, either way is a type of reconciliation, you're no longer wishing for their downfall. You're no longer hoping that they are in pain. You are no longer hoping that they are, quote, disinherited, that they are so-called going to hell, going to Sheol, because that's not going to happen. That'll never happen, right? So that's for our own benefit, that we understand that save thy people and bless thine inheritance. That goes for everybody, even the bad people, from our perspective. Feed them also and lift them up forever. Now, this is you not only blessing yourself, but blessing this person, blessing your relationship, blessing every aspect of it. Recognizing that you don't really care how it turns out in the physical. You don't really care how everything shakes out as far as the specifics of the situation. The only thing you're concerned with is the fact that you are now at one with your inheritance, and you acknowledge that they are as well. And you don't really need to know the ins and outs of how it's going to manifest. It's going to manifest in the perfect way for you. And the only thing that matters right now is that you're at peace with this person, that you're at peace and that you're happy, and that they're no longer dragging you down. Because when you're at odds with somebody, even though you're, like we said earlier, you're trying to put on a good face, you're trying to put on it, pretending like it's not bothering you, where it's talking about speaking peace to our neighbors, but mischief is in our hearts. That's never the right way to do things. All that's going to do is make it worse. So we're beyond that now. We're beyond that. And we are at a place where we know that peace is ours, that we have total resolution. And if that means that this reconciliation manifests in us having a relationship again, that's great. But if that's not appropriate, that's great too, because it is for the highest good of all. And it'll be fun to see how it works out. It'll be great to see how it works out, because I have absolute 100% trust that the infinite knows what it's doing. So you just keep coming back to this same psalm every day. Once a day is fine. I mean, you can do it more than once a day, but usually once a day is plenty. Until you get a sense of peace and resolution and certainty that everything's working out perfectly. And once you get that sense of peace and certainty and resolution in your own inner mind and in your body, you're able to relax about this. That's an indication to you from your deep mind that you have cast the spell. You don't need to keep working this. It's on its way. It's best to just forget about it. Move on to something else. Thank you so very much for being with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. Okay. It doesn't look like we have any questions, so thank you so much for joining us. I hope you can join us in about 14 minutes for our premiere. And like I said, if you don't know how to get to the premiere, you can just hang out to the end of the exit music and it should dump you onto the watch page, and you can just save that and come back to it if you don't want to hang out for 10 minutes or whatever it is, 12 minutes. Thanks again for being here, and thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Honeypaw and Heather. And we will see everybody over on the premiere. Until next time, blessed be.